Hello YouTube, Wolf Ninja here, bringing you another D&D video. Today, sorry, I have a bit of a sore throat from the session I had earlier. Now, from what I can see on my camera, again, I'm using my phone. I don't have proper recording equipment, and I personally believe my phone's good enough. Like, as long as I'm going to check out the video first to test out the audio. If not, then I'll see about using my new software that I have upstairs to see if it will record my audio properly. If you hear any sounds like a cage, that is my dog right behind me in his cage, because like he sleeps downstairs. But yeah, this is my vlog that I'll be doing after my D&D sessions. Now it's 3 hours, roughly 3 hours since my last session. I have a cup of tea here, just stirring the cup, since my last D&D session. Now, in this group, I'm the DM, but I also control a character. In it is about 7 people. Today, we had 5 people attend this session. 2 people could not make it. One due to an illness, the other went to the theatre on a date, like. So, what happened today was we're going through the starter module called Lost Mine of Phandalin. Now, I link the modules up and I create my own world. I'm using the map of Tamriel. The Sword Coast is the small Sword Coast and Faerun. Now, I expanded the size of Tamriel. So Faerun fits inside of Cyrodiil, down near the south west, I would like to say. Now I renamed Argonia Draconia, and it is ruled by a council of chromatic dragons. But anyway, the session's been going on for a few weeks. I think about 3, maybe a month at the most. Most of the people I know in real life, 2 are Skyping in. Sorry, it's all done over the internet on the website Roll20. But 2 are from America. I know them from other sessions that I play. I'll be not doing a vlog on all of them. Sorry, I also had dinner recently. It was fish and rice. Lovely. But okay, back to the main topic of this video. Today, one of my players in the previous session asked a statuette, which would answer one question using the augury spell. Rascal! Shh. My dog's crying because he knows I'm here. He asked the question, where's the man that killed my father? Now, my player is using the movie Princess Bride. I never seen it. I'm trying to find it on the internet to watch it. I may actually have to, see about buying a DVD, like. But yeah, to try and do it justice. His character is heavily based on that. Now, granted, not really heavy. Just the 6-fingered man that killed his dad and him trying to get revenge. So it's mostly just that. I'm at to add my own little twists to it. So we ended this session because I didn't know what that was a serious question like to ask in a module. So I was like, okay, I had to read about the spell. It determines the answer based on the next 30 minutes of that player's actions. So I was like, all right, here's an answer. I spent 2 weeks working on it. Luckily, we had to cancel this session, so I narrowed it down to one scenario that I had planned out. Now, the players were at a place called Grogma Castle, which was run by goblins. They cleared out the goblins, and that's where they found a statuette. Now, they were also asked to deal with a potential zombie sighting in a place called Old Owl Well. But the guy found out that I'll use my character's name, Montego, found out that the man who killed his father was on his way to Neverwinter, and if he wanted to meet him, to meet the man who killed his father, he would have to head to Neverwinter within the next 30 minutes. That will begin the chain of reactions, butterfly effect, if you will, of him seeing the man. Now, the party met up with the newcomer of the group, a dwarf named Gregor, who left High Rock to seek to become a druid. He's a barbarian right now. He's a mountain dwarf. Greg, upon realizing that the group has the similar marks, and they do plan to try and find out what these marks mean, the mark is of the goddess Elaine, a homemade goddess, who seeks. She's in charge of keeping the gods out of the prime material plane. Well, out of material planes, as I like to call them, because there will be plane year shifting, because Wizards have been releasing plane shift supplements where they add planes from Magic the Gathering to D&D, and I want my players to visit them. So I have there's no one material plane, there's several. So yeah, that's what I'm doing there. Now there's the Prime, which is technically Tamriel, because that's where the Shadowfell and the Feywild reflect. So you could say the plane that they're on is the Prime, but there are other material planes. Anyway, so Gregor, who has the emblem on his chest, decides, okay, I'll travel with you. So we head off to Neverwinter, which is what the group decided on. My character, a Hexblade Warlock Tiefling named Kilel Asmodeus. I used the name generator, came up with a very funny thing. But anyway, his aspect name is Loyal, which is the virtue he's trying to embody. He was like, if the man who killed your father is in Neverwinter, we're going to Neverwinter. You know, you must get your revenge. So that's where the group's going. So the starter module is on back burner while we begin this sort of minor story arc. Well, minor character story arc. The main story arc for Montego will be obviously going out and getting the revenge. Right now, it's very unlikely he'll get it. But again, they can certainly try. In case you guys are watching, you can. Sorry, that's where the camera lens is. You can certainly try. Now, upon arriving at Neverwinter, now I made my own adjustments because again, I love the fantasy setting, so I supersized Neverwinter. The gatehouse, you know, the things there, you know, where they hold up the gates and the walls, I made them 100 stories high. Yeah, 100 stories high. About 5 house, the width of my house. Now again, some houses do different. I need to learn the measurements. I really do need to learn measurements. But yeah, several houses, you know, wide and thick, with giant ballistae. You know, the big mounted crossbow things. Those ballista. I know they're known as ballista, but I'm trying to think of the plural. But anyway, the giant ones are mounted along the walls. They have sky ships on patrols. There's then merchant sky ships. There's like hundreds of people, you know, coming in from the city, in and out of the city. And there's like 4 main gates I've seen, 2 in the north, 2 in the thing, and then there's a river going, you know, out on either side, and then there's the big port that leads to the Sword Ocean. Yeah, I think the ocean's called Sword something. But anyway, they arrive. They learn a bit about Neverwinter. They learn about, you know, Draconia being on the border. Just throw in some, you know, general lore of the world. The City Watch member greeted them, you know, asked them what are their business here. They went through. They then, as they're walking through Neverwinter, luckily my character's from Neverwinter, so where they said, "Oh, we're going to the House of Knowledge," my character was like, "Yeah, I can lead you there. I grew up in Neverwinter. These are my streets." So he starts leading them there. So on their way to Neverwinter, so I have an OCD about multitasking. I lost my fidget spinner. That is actually really handy for me. But okay, as they're walking by, another sub arc comes in about a tournament, and they found out about it. They found out how much it costs to enter the tournament if you're a non-registered adventuring party, as in like sanctioned. Like each kingdom has sanctioned adventuring parties. They're the ones that get first dibs on contracts and whatnot. They found out about it. Gregor was like, "There's an entry fee." No, walk away. The party didn't seem that interested. Then they got to the House of Temples, where they met Darren Adarmat, who was an NPC in the Lost Mine story arc. I tweaked him to make him the book says he's an old adventurer. I decided to make him a wood elf, and I made him a level 20 blade singer. He's 1,800 years old, and if you remember my discussion videos, the book doesn't give them an age limit. Well, it does, but they say also well over 700 and 750. That's not well over. So I tweaked the age. So he's 1,800 years old. He's still very strong for his age. He was doing the registration for the group because they're all chosen by Elaine to form the new generation of Lunar Guard, but there hasn't been a new generation in 500 years, and that's because another group who follow the god Lemus is trying to wipe them out. So yeah, they're called the Dust Guard. They wiped them out, and one of the Dust Guard came out and attacked. Now Darren, upon discovering that he's one of the original members of the Lunar Guard, and upon learning that his nephew is now a new chosen member, he wants to get them re-registered. And with the way the world is, them being sanctioned and registered means they're in the public eye, which means they'll be more difficult to target. Now they have been already. One of the players who was leaving the group, his character died by a Dust Guard assassin. So the group was like, okay, yeah, maybe being registered is a good thing. We need a base of operations. They have one at the moment, but they have a potential one, that the castle that they cleared out of goblins. It's an old abandoned castle, abandoned century, so it's up for grabs. That's what else happened. Oh yeah, upon leaving the House of Knowledge, the group decided, let's go to the tavern where we first met. Get some drinks. They were crossing the Dolphin Bridge, where Montego saw a large ship, and on the large ship was the Six-Fingered Man. So immediately Montego was like, there's the man, and he ran back and started running down the thing. He wanted to find out where that boat was going. Now technically he shouldn't kept up, because unbeknownst to the players, it was a sky ship, and sky ships can go both in the water and up in the air. So it was being magically propelled, so it could have actually gone much faster than him. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let him keep up. My character flew overhead. He's a winged tiefling, which was introduced in the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. So instead of having infernal rebuke or other magic, he now instead has wings. It's a worthy sacrifice. But anyway, I'm flying overhead. I'm like, take this turn, take that turn, go this way. The group follows except for one. Our wood elf rogue, arcane trickster to be more precise, named Elvish. It's a pun. My friend was like, so its first name is El, and then the second name is Vish. Anyway, so Elvish decides, I'm just going to call him El. So El decides to, I'm going to burn this ship, so that way everyone will have to jump off. So he looks around, sees that a City Watch member is lighting, like torches. Like because it's getting night and people so that people can see where they're going at night. So he's there. A City Guard there lighting a torch. Sorry, not City Guard, City Watch. There in Neverwinter, it's gonna go City Watch as the bomb. Then it's City Guard. They're the ones that will be at like the gates or key areas, and then it goes the army, and then obviously the Royal Guard. But anyway, he runs up to the City Watch, rips off a piece of his clothing, wraps it around an arrow, lights it on fire, fires, and misses at the bow. At which point the City Watch is just like, then his character says to the City Watch, "Yeah, someone's attacking that bow." All like, I'm just like, you'd never mentioned you ran away from the City Watch member. He's like, "I know." I'm like, okay. He calls for reinforcements, and several City Watch members come along, and he goes, my character puts his hands behind his head and gets on his knees. So I'm like, okay, we'll catch up with you later. Meanwhile, the rest of the group is running down. They get to the docks. They see that the boat is going up to another dock, so they ran back. Now, as they're running back and crossing the Sleeping Dragon bridge, Elvish is actually being carried off unconscious. He's being carried off by the City Guard and Watch, and just as he sees them, he gets knocked out. So he wakes up in prison. But anyway, they cross the bridge, go down. They see that the King of Neverwinter is there to greet this man. And I forgot to mention, the first instinct that Montego had was to jump off the bridge to get to the man. Too high up. Way too high up. So, instead, I also pointed out to him, you can't really tell from this distance, but you estimate that there's about 100 Dusk Guard members on board. Like, they're all wearing the black armor. They all have the emblem proudly on their ship. The ship is actually marked. It's their ship. This man who killed Montego's father and took over the noble house and the land and whatnot, eventually also became king of High Rock. So he's there for the grand tournament. For the grand tourney, and he's being greeted by the King of Neverwinter. So, army, Royal Guards there, plus about 100 Dusk Guard. Not all of them are getting off the ship. Some of them are also staying on, but it's a proper escort. Like, Loyal talks down Montego, pointing out to him that you died once, and the goddess Elaine kept you alive. She did that for a reason. You're chosen. You have the mark. My character. The reason why I go like that is because my character has the mark on his back of his hand. I would love to get an emblem. The next time I'm doing a recording, I'll try and do a window capture or some way of. I'll probably use my phone to take a picture of the mark, and I'll probably upload it. But anyway, my character's talking to him, like trying to reason with him, like don't try and get revenge right now. Look, Then my character reveals to the group that he's a member of the Zhentarim, and not only that, he's an agent of the Zhentarim. So he'll get him contacts. He has contacts, he has resources. He'll try and get the information so that he can make a proper plan attack. Montego's like, fine. Hold on a sec, guys. That's lovely. So yeah, Montego decides, and my guy's like, okay, let's get drinks. But now, and there's a point at the player who's playing Gregor the dwarf, he went AFK because he had an appointment, a doctor appointment. I don't know. I didn't pry. He just said I had something to do, so that's where I left it. Real life real life comes first, and personal matters. And so I said something, and I was like, oh my god, I wish he was here. Because his character uses an axe, and my character, I know I didn't plan it. It just came out. My character says, "You have my sword," because I'm a. And then we also have my girlfriend who's playing a moon elf called Lunara, who uses a bow. She's a ranger, and I was like, oh my god, if she says, "And you have my bow," I would have loved it if Gregor was like, and my axe. You know, like I was like, oh god, no. Next week I'm gonna say it again in front of the whole group, and hopefully people will be saying shit like maybe Elvish will say, "And my daggers," you know. But anyway, we decided to go back to the Boar Hat Inn. Yes, it's a reference to Seven Deadly Sins if you watch anime. They got drunk, which my character used his faction agent background feature to get us a place to stay, which I did. Now back to Elvish. So I'm trying to avoid using, their actual names. Alright, Elvish woke up in a cell in front of a paladin. Now, because it's the fantasy setting and it's Neverwinter's a big city, like I figured they have at least one paladin, especially for this type of thing. The paladin, I decided to work it a little weirdly. The paladin tells him, I am about to cast the spell Zone of Truth. Do you acknowledge that I said this, and do you agree for the spell to be cast? Which Elvish was like, yes. So I have it so that, like, in my world, these paladins that are chosen to be part of the city watch or city guard or whatever, they have to ask permission to put someone under a zone of truth. So it's a little like, okay, in your trial, it could come up like that you refuse to go under a zone of truth. And also I read the spell. Even if you fail or pass the check, they will know. If you fail, you're compelled to tell the truth. If you pass it, I believe is you can lie, but the paladin will know you passed it. So it's a little bit of like, you can't beat it. You can't beat the zone of truth, except, but like it does say you can vaguely avoid giving the information, but you have to speak the truth. It's wordplay. But anyway, Elvish answered the questions. He failed his check, but he answered the questions. Then he was put to a cell. He answered like all the questions, like why he attacked the thing. He answered who he is. He answered what group he's with, and he was put in a cell. Now, well, while in this cell, he was bound. It was a regular cell. He's not that big of a criminal, so he was put in the lowest. He was put into the bare minimum cell, which is just iron bars. A completely empty room, except with some shackles up on the wall for those people that are chained to the wall. Oh, I just got a message. Then he tried casting Mage Hand because he's an arcane trickster, but since this is a fantasy setting, even the bare minimum cell of a major city has anti-magic runes. So he's like, fuck. Okay. He eventually got free. I was like, okay, roll. He's like, his character. He's like, okay, I'll rub against the wall until my bindings, break. I was like, okay. He rolled he failed once, but I allowed him to try again every hour. So he then tried again, got a nat 20. He managed to get a rock that was sharp enough to go break free. Then he tried the Shanghai Noon, and that is a movie reference. For those of you that do know, you're probably laughing. He then took the rope, the two pieces. Oh no, it would be actually single. Oh no, he could have cut through all of it. I said it was cut into two pieces. 2.5 feet length rope. Now he puts it on the ground, pees on it. It's something to do with tensile strength or whatever. It was explained in the movie. Watch Shanghai Noon or try and look up the clip on YouTube. He didn't have anything to secure it with, because apparently you need like something strong so you can twist it. He went to the wall shackles, started pulling at it, failed once again, so that's an hour that went by. He tried it again, got about halfway done, Then the Sea Watch came in. They shouted at him. They. That's where I ended the session. I ended the session where they unlock the door and they walk in to secure him. I decided to end the session there because we were playing for about 4 hours. Actually, a little bit more than 4 hours. We were either going to 4 or possibly 4.5. I doubt 5. So yeah, I was like, you know what, guys, I'm ending the session here because this has the potential right now to go into something bigger. Now, as for my usual discussion, the players did bring, like, it was a 100% role playing session, which I love. It was absolutely amazing. I love the dynamic. Like, I love the fact that. Now again, I had to correct him on this. One of my players, the player who played Elvish, he apparently his character refused to speak Common, and up to this point, I thought he was speaking Common. So right now, I'm like, okay, from now on, you have to specify when you're speaking Elvish, because like most characters speak Common. I'm going to be in that mindset. So if you're specifically speaking Elvish, let me know. But other than that, great. I cannot predict what this guy is doing. He's chaotic neutral, so he can literally be like all over the place. I'm interested in finding out what he's going to do. He told me after the session he actually messaged me about 10 minutes before I started doing this video that I should name the city guards because he's going to see a lot of them. The players playing Motingo, great session today from him. He really played his character well, especially the fact that his character was torn. When he got his answer, his character was torn between his duty to the group and to the possible goddess to go after the, undead. Because he was back there. I counted the hexagons in between the two areas. He was perfectly in the middle. And then he was like, but the man who killed my father, I could get revenge. That's when my character stepped in. He was like, let's go after him. He played his character brilliantly. He did not insist on any persuasion or deception or whatever check during this social encounter between me and him. Me trying to calm him down and make him see reason. Brilliant work with him today. My girlfriend, brilliant again. Really coming into her own as a new D&D player. A small issue, she tends to talk out of character quite often and also tends to interrupt. Other than that, brilliant. I'm not just saying that, I'm being brutally honest, because again, that's the only way how any of us are going to improve. Like, I need to really improve on doing my voices, so that's one thing I really need to do. Gregor, the dwarf. Great first session. He got on really well. He did, again, most of these people are strangers to him except for me and my girlfriend. Got on very well with them. His dwarf, very interesting, very no bollocks type of thing. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him, especially considering I know the potential that stuff that player will do, because I have two other sessions with that player, so I know what he's capable of. So I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to see it, and I'm dying to find out how he's going to incorporate being a druid into the barbarian. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Other than that, I wish the other two players would have made it. Lux, our wood elf, phoenix sorcerer origin sorcerer, who is chaotic good. Oh no, I think I made her. I argued with her to make her character chaotic neutral, or chaotic evil, due to the fact that she burned down her entire tribe, because they tried to force her to marry. I was like, oh god. I have to ask her about where she's from, because that will play into the campaign into the world eventually. I'm also disappointed at my friend who plays a fiend warlock, fighter warlock. I'm a little disappointed he couldn't attend the session. His character is interesting. Like, now again, he's playing a character he's playing in another game that I'm with. That video will have another vlog. His character is Lays something. He's playing, I think, an elf. Yeah, he's playing a high elf because he has a cantrip, I think. No, I think it's a high elf. He has one nasty habit of not updating his character sheet. I will ask him, dude, please update your character sheet. I need it in case you're not in this session so I can properly control your character. Because again, that's how I roll it. Like, do it. If they're not there at the session, I will control their character in combat so they can still earn a little bit of XP. Now, they won't earn social encounter XP. Like, if they roleplay really, really well, I would either reward inspiration or XP. But if they didn't take part, they can't take part in the roleplay. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, there's one other player, but he hasn't attended a single session, so I can't really say much on him, except for the fact that please attend the session. If you're watching this, attend the session. That is... I am looking forward to seeing what the group does with the potential... the guards got in touch with Elvish's uncle, Darren Adermatt, who then got in touch with us. Now, we can't pay his bail, but so what we plan to do is once we arrive, we're hoping to, sanction the king of Neverwinter to allow us to do a task to pay his bail. So hopefully we can do that. It might bring us back to Phandalin, it might not. But at the moment, it's very interesting. I'm dying to see what happens. Like, I doubt Elvish is going to sit in the rest of the cell for the rest of the night. He is going to do something. I just know it. Let's see, other than that, what can I say? The group was really amazing. Yeah, that's about it. Hopefully this Monday, my what I like to call home game, because it takes place in my local area and it's with all my friends, and we play face to face. We don't use Roll20, and it's actually 100% theater of the mind. So hopefully we'll take. Sorry, it's very late. So hopefully that session doesn't get cancelled again. It's been cancelled about nearly 3 weeks in a row now. I'm getting a bit concerned that the players are losing interest, and because we got back into another hobby called Warhammer 40k, and I'm partially worried that their re-emergence of interest in that is making them less likely to play 40k, because when they meet up they would rather play that than D&D. So I'm hoping but that'll be another vlog video I'm doing in that. And in that game, I play Knowledge, another tiefling named Jason, after myself. I'm not saying the last name. And a wizard necromancer who seeks to prolong his own life to collect all arcane knowledge, and that led him to necromancy, the study of the body and the soul, possibly trying to discover how to prolong his life so he can collect all that knowledge. One of my friends is playing a half elf, I believe, fiend warlock. As I said, he's playing 2 games now as that. Another friend who's playing an Aasimar fighter favorite soul sorcerer. Little bit with that character, just due to the fact that he's very anti-gods, and yet he's a favorite soul Aasimar. So, and he's not even a fallen Aasimar. I need to look into fallen Aasimar to see what makes them fall, because like I'm like, if there's fallen Aasimar, that means they can fall from grace, which means they do have some connection to the divine. So I'm like, shit, would this not mean he's going to end up being fallen? I'll have to look into that. I doubt it will cause him to do that, but I need to make sure. We also have a Triton, another pure sorcerer. He is the Sea Origin sorcerer, and it is really fun. Like, oh my god, the stuff he can do. We homebrewed a few spells for him so that way he can use more water, and because like there's very little things, so we were like, okay, we'll make him more. I homebrewed a lot in that game, especially items and spells. Like I homebrewed some new necromancy spells because I was like, there's very little low level attack necromancy spells. There's like enfeeblement and false life. So I was like, I would like some attack spells other than chill touch. So I created two. One's first level, and one is third level. The first level one is called Spirit Barrage, which works just like magic missiles. It's literally magic missiles, except you change the force damage into necrotic. And then there's Dark Vortex, which is basically fireball, but instead of a dex check, it's a con check. And the description is that like an orb of black energy swirls around, and it sort of sucks your soul or energy out of you. If it kills you, I will describe that your soul is basically being like the life is being sucked out and they just drop dead. I'll describe something like that. It's not like as an explosive as fireball. So yeah, we have several more spells for him though, loads more. We made about 4, maybe 5 for him. Not sure. I'll have to check. And we're also using the variant rule spell points rather than spell slots, which is actually quite fun. Because like it's more like a mana, rather than okay, I have 2 of this, 1 of this, and 1 of that. So it's like more like a steadily drain thing, like Magicka from Elder Scrolls, mana from pretty much nearly every other game. So that's about it. I have one more vlogs. I'm probably doing more videos this weekend, maybe more Mass Effect, because there's the Apex Elite thing that I want, that I mentioned in my Mass Effect videos. Now those videos should be getting uploaded tomorrow. Same time, around the same time as this vlog video. Like I'll send this to my computer, and then when I'm on my computer tomorrow, I'll upload all 3 videos. And I'll probably not do any streaming because I'm babysitting a lot that day. And that's about it. As I said before, I do have now a Discord chat server for any of you that are on Discord that would like to get in touch, maybe see about playing a game together, getting featured in my videos. It's called Willful Ninja Nerd Talks, or Nerds Talk. I think it'll make actually Willful Nerds Talk. Yeah, that sounds better than talks. If the S needs to be at the end of nerds, because that way it will sound like nerds are talking to one another. So yeah, hopefully I'll be doing my human video soon. I'll see about getting the Blue to do that. I'll see about getting my friend Blue to do that with me again, because I really enjoy doing my videos with him. It's really fun. It's nice to have a more proper back and forth, hearing his thoughts on some situations, having a laugh as you might have seen that we go on tangents. Also, because of him sending me the audio files rather than a video, I plan to continue to add like a thumbnail, like a screenshot of the race that we're talking about, or something that we're talking about. Now again, I would like to do slideshows, but the only problem is copyrights and whatnot. I don't want to use people's images without their permission, so like I think I'm treading the line with the using the images from the player's handbook. So at the moment I believe I'm like just at the line. I might be crossing it, so I might end up getting copyright slams from Wizards, but I hope not. I hope not, because like I doubt I will, because they release loads of stuff that helps DMs, create their own games, and then there's the DMs Guild where players can literally get money for making stuff for D&D. So I doubt I'll get what's it called, thing. I'll doubt I'll end up getting what's it called, copyright claim, but just in case I do, that'll be why. Then I'll stop doing those videos. But yeah, until then I'll keep using a screenshot of a creature from the PHP. That's it now. I'm completely out of subjects. So yeah, I may do videos this weekend, may not. I'm quite busy tomorrow. Well, today technically, now that it's after 2 a.m. And then I am busy on Sunday. So you probably won't hear back from me until Monday at the earliest. Now again, as I said, I'll be uploading this video on a Saturday because I'll be bringing my computer downstairs while I'm babysitting. So I'll upload them then. I'll probably rewatch this video like on my phone first, because again I'm recording on my phone, just to test out the audio and whatnot, to make sure you can hear me and that this lag that I'm seeing with my lips is not too bad. But other than that, that's it. I'm hoping to do more of my vlogs on, I think that's called a vlog. Yeah, I'm hoping to do more of these at the end of my sessions. Hopefully I won't wait too long again. But yeah, I feel like I'll do them again. I decided to wait this long because that was the time I could get this kitchen to myself to do my recording, because my room's next to my mother's and I didn't want to wake my little brother up. And also, that way I have a nice light that shines on me. Thanks to my friend Vanessa, aka Dagobah Skywalker. Dagobah Skywalker, who gave me the tip about I did a video, I think, of a month or 2 months or maybe 3 months back, where I was sitting in this chair doing a video and I had that light on. Wait. There we go, that light on. And it made seeing me much harder because like the light was shining on the back of my head. But so yeah, that's why I went with this light, because it shines down. From what I can see, it's not obscuring me too much. And as for the sort of sweaty look I had, I just got done with exercise because I desperately need it. And it was just exhausting. But anyway. Again, I tend to say that again a lot, like, oh, this is the end, but no. It's because I'm talking about D&D, and I love D&D. Get me talking on Mass Effect or Elder Scrolls, and I'll be equally as long. But see, that's why I'm doing these videos, because again, I like recording these videos. I like talking about D&D, and I'm sure there's others out. Like, again, I know I'm talking as if I have viewers. I have a few, like I have 1 or 2 people that regularly watch my videos. Not all of them. Every once in a while they'll watch one of my videos. But these videos are more for myself, and again, in the off chance that people watch them and like them, great. But I am not going to stop doing these videos. I did stop. Oops, sorry, I was cracking my knuckles. I know that cringes some people. But yeah, I know. Again, if people watch my videos, great. If they don't, oh well. But anyway, just for the off chance that people do watch, that's why I do these videos, as if I'm talking to people. Anyway, that is it. I am now leaving. I am going to bed. Anyway, may the force be with you, and remember, roll for initiative.